classify the animals based on the nitrogenous base they eliminate into ammonotelic, ureotelic and uricotelic animals. So interferons are proteins secreted by the infected cells. Tissue culture unit is a method to propagate desired plants in a controlled condition, and it is called as in vitro method. Auxin, as we all know, it is a growth promoting plant hormone, phytohormone, present in the meristematic region of the stem. Moving on to question number 21. Population density of terrestrial organisms is measured in terms of individual per. Option A meter, option B meter square, option C meter cube, and option D meter to the power 4. How many organisms there are per unit area is referred to as density. So what is density? How many organisms there are per unit area is referred to density. Population density is a measurement of population size per unit area. That is population size divided by total land area, and we normally measure the area in meter square. So answer is what? Meter square. So option A meter is wrong. Option B meter square is correct. Option C meter cube is wrong. Option D meter to the power 4 is wrong. So option B is correct. Moving on to question number 22. Nitrogenous waste products are eliminated mainly as option A urea in tadpole as well as in adult frog. Option B urea in tadpole and ammonia in adult frog. Option C urea in tadpole and uric acid in adult frog. And option D urea in adult frog and ammonia in tadpole. I think all of us know we classify the animals based on the nitrogenous base they eliminate into ammonotelic, ureotelic and uricotelic animals. So animals that excrete excess nitrogen in the form of ammonia, they are called as ammonotelic animals, and usually it takes place in case of aquatic animals, maybe like invertebrates, fishes and even larvae. So excretion of ammonia occurs in aquatic animals. The route of ammonia diffusion in these animals is through skin or gills or kidneys. In mammals and semi-terrestrial adult amphibians, urea is major nitrogenous excretory product. So the adult frog will eliminate the nitrogenous base in the form of urea, and the larvae called the tadpole larvae of frog will eliminate ammonia because it is aquatic. So option A urea in tadpole as well as in adult frog is wrong. Urea in tadpole and ammonia in adult frog is wrong. Urea in tadpole and uric acid in adult frog is wrong. Urea in adult frog correct, and ammonia in tadpole is correct. So option D is correct. Option D is correct. Moving on to question number 23. In man, the blue eye color is recessive and the brown recessive to the brown eye color. If the boy has brown eye and his mother is blue eyed, what would be the phenotype of his father? Option A green eye, option B blue eye, option C black eye, and option D brown eye. In man, blue eyes are recessive and brown eyes are dominant. In case of human males, which is having chromosome XY, only X chromosome can carry gene but Y cannot. In case of human females, XX, both X chromosomes will carry the genes. If the son is having brown eyes, his expected genotype will be XBY, that is brown, XY brown. Genotype of mother with blue eyes will be XB small b, X small b. Thus, the genotype father has to contain one B gene which had transferred to the offspring. So, genotype of the father will be what? XBY. Phenotype is brown eye. So, option A. So, what would be the phenotype of his father? Brown eye. So, option A green eye is wrong. Option B blue eye is wrong. Option C black eye is wrong. Option D brown eye is correct. So, option D is correct. Moving on to question number 24. Munch hypothesis is based on option A translocation of food due to turgor pressure gradient. Option B translocation of food due to imbibition force. Option C translocation of food due to turgor pressure gradient and imbibition force. And option D, none of these. Munch hypothesis is based on the movement of phloem sap along a turgor pressure gradient. So it is based on, the translocation of food is based on turgor pressure gradient. The mass flow of organic solutes takes place from the site of higher concentration, that is the source, to the site of lower concentration, that is the sink. So option A, translocation of food due to turgor pressure gradient is correct. Translocation of food due to imbibition force is wrong. Option C, translocation of food due to turgor pressure gradient and imbibition force is wrong. Option D, none of these is wrong. So option A is correct. Moving on to question number 25. Interferons are option A, complex protein, option B, anti-clotting protein, option C, antibacterial protein, and option D, antiviral protein. Interferons, as the name comes from the ability to interfere with the production of new viral proteins. So interferons are proteins secreted by the infected cells, which protect non-infected cells from further viral infection, and they're acting as what? Antiviral proteins. So interferons are antiviral proteins. So option A, complex protein, is wrong. Option B, anti-clotting protein, is wrong. Option C, antibacterial protein, is wrong. Option D, antiviral protein, is correct. So option D is correct. Moving on to question number 26. In the diagram of lenticel, identify the parts A, B, and C, and D. So what are lenticels? Lenticels are ruptured epidermal cells. Ruptured epidermal cells. So we need to identify the parts A, B, C, and D. A, we can see here it is phellum. Then B is complementary cells. Complementary cells. Here you can see A is phellum and B is complementary cells, and C is phellogen and D is phellum. And D is phellum. Phellogen. So A is phellum, B is complementary cell, C is phellogen, and D is phellum. We'll go to the first one. A has to be phellum. Here it is A complementary cells. So this is wrong. Here also B complementary cells is wrong. Here A is phellum, correct. Here also A is phellum, correct. Go to the next one. B is complementary cells. So here B is peridome. So this is wrong. B is complementary cells, correct. C is phellogen. Here it is C is phellogen. D is phellum. D is phelloderm. Phellogen, phelloderm. So D is phelloderm. So this option D is correct. A is phellum, B is complementary cells, C is phellogen, and D is phelloderm. So option D is correct. Option D is the correct. Moving on to question number 27. Sterilization of tissue culture medium is done by option A, mixing the medium with antifungal agents. Option B, keeping the medium at minus 20 degrees centigrade. Option C, autoclaving of medium at 120 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes. Option D, filtering the medium through fine sieve. Tissue culture unit is a method to propagate desired plants in a controlled condition, and it is called as in vitro method. So the culture medium, here it is used as a source of nutrients, being also conducive for the growth of bacteria. You know, nutrient medium also helps in the growth of bacteria and fungi. So this is sterilized to avoid any contamination by microorganisms. So sterilization of the tissue culture medium is done through autoclaving, a machine called autoclaving at 120 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes. In this method of sterilization, moist heat is used to kill microorganisms. So sterilization of tissue culture medium is done by autoclaving at 120 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes. So option A, mixing the medium with antifungal agents, is wrong. Option B, keeping the medium at minus 20 degrees centigrade, is wrong. Autoclaving of medium at 120 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes is correct. Filtering the medium through fine sieve is wrong. So option C is correct. Moving on to question number 28, match the following. So the name of the causative organism is given in one column and the disease it causes is given in the one column. So A. Leishmania donovani and B. Wucheria bancrofti, C. Trypanosoma gambiense, then D. Entamoeba histolytica. There malaria, amoebiasis, kala azar, sleeping sickness, filariasis. So Leishmania donovani causes kala azar. Then Wucheria bancrofti, filariasis. Then Trypanosoma gambiense, sleeping sickness. Entamoeba histolytica, amoebiasis. So A is R, B is T, C is S, and D is Q. Now let us see which is the right answer. A should be R. Here first option A is R, correct. Here also option. Here A is wrong. Here it is R. Go for the next one. B should be T. Here B is T, correct. Here B also is T, correct. Here B is yes, so it is wrong. Go for the next one. C, yes. Here C, yes, correct. Here CQ is there, so this is also wrong. Then DQ. Here it is DQ. Here it is DP. So wrong. So option A is the correct combination. Right. Moving on to question number 29. The idea of natural selection as the fundamental process of evolutionary changes was reached independently by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace in 1900. Actually, this was in 1859. The paper was demonstrated. A paper was published in a journal in 1859. So, independently by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace in 1900, by Charles Darwin in 1866, by Alfred Russel Wallace in 1901, and D. independently by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace in 1859. So, Charles Darwin, he's father of evolution, who was a naturalist, English naturalist, who is called as a naturalist, one who studies about nature. And another scientist by name Alfred Russel Wallace, another English naturalist, also traveled wider just like Charles Darwin, who traveled for 21 long years in a ship called HMS Beagle, studied the flora and fauna of South America and Southeast Asia. So evolutionary ideas similar to those of Darwin developed in Wallace's mind also. And the thinking of both Darwin and Wallace in respect of organic evolution was similar. So they both separately published a paper in a journal in the year 1859. So independently by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace in 1859. So option A is wrong. Option B is wrong. Option C is wrong. Option D, independently by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace in 1859 is correct. So option D is correct. Moving on to question number 30. Auxins originates at the tip of the stem and controls growth elsewhere. The movement of auxins is largely option A, acropetal and basipetal, option B, centripetal, and option C, basipetal, option D, acropetal. Auxin, as we all know, it is a growth promoting plant hormone, phytohormone, present in the meristematic region of the stem and even in the root. It is also present at the tips of roots and also buds. So in stem, the movement of auxin is basipetal. That is, movement is from apex, from the tip towards the base. So hence it is called basipetal. But in roots, the auxin movement is acropetal, vice versa, from base to apex. So option A, acropetal and basipetal is wrong. Option B, centripetal is wrong. So option C, basipetal is correct. Option D, acropetal is wrong. So option C, basipetal is correct. Moving on to question number 31. If the length of DNA has 45,000 base pairs, how many complete turns will the DNA molecule take? Option A, 45. Option B, 450. Option C, 4,500. And option D, 45,000. there are 10 base pairs placed at a distance of 3.4 angstrom. Thus, if the length of DNA has 45,000 base pairs, the complete turns of DNA molecule is 45,000 divided by 10. So that is 4,500. So if a length of DNA has 45,000 base pairs, how many complete turns will the DNA molecule take? 4,500. Option A 45 wrong. Option B 450 wrong. Option C 4,500 correct. Option D 45,000 wrong. So option C 4,500 is correct. Moving on to question number 32. The process in which mature differentiated cells reverse to meristematic activity to form callus is called. Option A cytodifferentiation. Option B redifferentiation. Option C dedifferentiation. And option D differentiation. The cells from the cambium, the root apical meristem and shoot apical meristem differentiate to do various functions when these differentiated cell regions regain the capacity to undergo mitotic division. The phenomenon is called dedifferentiation. That is, regaining back the meristematic activity at times when needed is called dedifferentiation. So option A cytodifferentiation is wrong. B redifferentiation is wrong. Option C dedifferentiation is correct. And D differentiation is wrong. So option C dedifferentiation is correct. Moving on to question number 32. The process in which mature differentiated cells reverse to meristematic activity to form callus is called cytodifferentiation, B redifferentiation, C dedifferentiation and D differentiation. The cells from the cambium, root apical meristem and shoot apical meristem differentiate to do various functions when these differentiated cells regain the capacity to undergo mitotic division, that is regaining the meristematic activity, and the phenomenon is called dedifferentiation. So the process of regaining back the meristematic activity at times when needed is called as what? Dedifferentiation. So option A cytodifferentiation is wrong. Option B redifferentiation is wrong. Option C dedifferentiation is correct. And option D differentiation is wrong. So option C is correct. Moving on to question number 33. The lateral roots originate from option A epiblema, option B cortical cells below the root hairs, option C endodermal cells, and option D pericycle cells. Endodermis is followed by one or more layers of pericycle, and we know pericycle is a very important layer. A part of vascular cambium is formed by pericycle, and all lateral roots originate from the pericycle cells. So option A epiblema is wrong. So it is pericycle. Option B cortical cells below root hairs is wrong. Option C endodermal cells is wrong. Option D pericycle cells is correct. So option D pericycle cells is correct. Moving on to question number 34. Which accessory genital gland occurs only in mammalian male? Option A Cowper's gland. Option B Bartholian gland. Option C prostate gland. And option D pineal gland. It is which accessory gland occurs only in mammalian male? It is prostate gland, because prostate gland is the accessory genital gland which is found only in male mammals. It is located below the urinary bladder, and it also secretes alkaline fluid which is rich in bicarbonate ions that neutralizes the acids in the female reproductive tract. So option A Cowper's gland is wrong. Option B Bartholian gland is wrong. Option C prostate gland is correct. Option D pineal gland is wrong. It is an endocrine gland. So option C is correct. Moving on to question number 35. When the concentration of the soil solutes is low, the absorption of water is option A increased, option B decreased, option C remain normal, option D stopped. Roots absorb water from soil through diffusion process. Diffusion occurs in the presence of concentration gradient. When amount of solute is less in soil solution, then amount of water is more in soil solution. In this condition, more amount of water will diffuse from soil to roots. That's why water absorption will be more. So water absorption is increased. So when the concentration of the soil solutes is low, the absorption of water is increased. So option A, increased, is correct. Option B, decreased, is wrong. Option C, remain normal, is wrong. Option D, stopped, is wrong. So option A is correct. Moving on to question number 36. Edaphology is study of snakes. Option A. B. Study of amphibians. C. Study of elephants. And D. None of this. Edaphology is nothing but the study of influence of soil on living things, particularly in plants, is termed as edaphology. And edaphology also studies how human beings use the land for plant growth and overall use of land. So it is neither study of snakes, nor it is study of amphibians, nor it is study of elephants, none of these. So option D is correct, none of this. Option D is correct. Moving on to question number 37. Pineal gland of human brain secretes melatonin concerned with option A, coloration of skin, option B, sleep, option C, anger, and option D, body temperature. So melatonin, which is the hormone produced by the pineal gland, present near the anterior pituitary gland, and this gland, this hormone helps in regulating the sleep-wake cycle. First, sleep, then also in regulating the coloration of skin. So coloration of skin also is correct, but first is sleep-wake cycle. It is very much involved in regulating the sleep-wake cycle. So option A is wrong, option B, sleep, is correct, option C, anger, is wrong, option D, body temperature, is wrong. So option B is correct. Moving on to question number 38. When a tall plant with round seeds, capital T, capital R, crossed with a dwarf plant with wrinkled seeds, small t, small r, the F1 generation consists of tall plants with round seeds. What would be the proportion of dwarf plant with wrinkled seeds in F1 generation? So tall plant with round seeds, capital T, R, gametes produced will be capital T, capital R. Short plants with wrinkled seeds, small t, small r, smaller. So the gametes produced will be small t, small r. Crossing the gametes will yield the F1 generation. So we get this capital T, small t, capital R, small r in F1 generation. Here the dominant characters tall and round are represented by T and R here, capital T and capital R respectively. Thus it expresses round seeds and tall phenotype. Round seeds and tall phenotype. Hence, the number of short plants in F1 generation is 0. So, option A, 0, is correct. Option B, half, is wrong. Option C, 1/4 is wrong. Option D, 1/16 is wrong. So, option A, 0, is correct. Moving on to question number 39. Cell wall consists of, we know plants have a very unique cell wall made up of cellulose and other substances. So, cell wall consists of lignin, hemicellulose, pectin and lipid, lignin, hemicellulose, pectin and cellulose, lignin, hemicellulose, protein and lipid, hemicellulose, cellulose, tubulin and lignin. We all know that cell wall is a structural layer which is made up of cellulose, pectin, hemicellulose and lignin in the ratio of 4:3:3. Cellulose is the primary cell wall material. So option A, lignin, hemicellulose, pectin, correct, but lipid is there, so it is wrong. Lignin, hemicellulose, pectin and cellulose is correct. Here lignin, hemicellulose, protein and lipid is wrong. So this is wrong. Hemicellulose, cellulose, tubulin and lignin is wrong. So option B is correct. Moving on to question number 40. The post-anal tail is present in A, invertebrates, B, vertebrates, C, chordates and D, in all of them. Animals belonging to phylum Chordata have three very important chordate characters, that is presence of notochord, dorsal tubular nerve cord, and paired pharyngeal gill slits. They also possess post-anal tail and closed circulatory system. So the post-anal tail is present in chordates. So option A, invertebrates, is wrong. Option B, vertebrates, is wrong. Option C, chordate, is correct. Option D, in all of them, is wrong. So option C, chordate, is correct. Hope you all have understood the 40 questions in this KCET 2007. So I'll be back with part 3.